Hello, we are Dorks Gone Wild. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Tina.
And this is our top 100 board games of all time. This is our top 10.
Yeah.
These are our favorite. These are the games we'll play anytime, anywhere. Just come on over to the house. We'll play the games whenever you want.
Call first.
Yeah, maybe call first. But in fact, if you look behind us, you'll see a big gap in here.
My shelf and the shelf.
Yeah, so you see a lot of games missing there. So these are our top 10. Love these games. These are our favorites. Couple newer games in there, but not many. Most of these games are older, great games. So let's start with my number 10, Lords of Vegas. One of the very few Ameritrash games we own. My highest ranked Ameritrash. I'm not a big fan of it, but this is great. This is a negotiation game, luck based. So much luck in this game, it's crazy. You're building casinos. You're taking over people's casinos. You can gamble at their casinos.
They can gamble at yours.
They can gamble at yours. So much luck in this game, but there's still a little bit of strategy in there. But the whole point of this game is negotiations to try to take over casinos, trading spots, ganging up on players, hoping cards come out that you want. Game does have a lot of downtime. Probably my biggest complaint with it, especially a 6-player game. We played it last night, and waiting for 5 people to take your turn before you do anything. It takes a while, but the negotiation part's great. The expansion it adds a lot to it. I highly recommend getting up. You can build your casinos up. So the base game plays to 4. So with the expansion, it goes to 6.
With up, yeah. But there's Skybridge too, which we haven't played.
We haven't played that one yet. So really love Lords of Vegas. That's my voice now.
My number 10 is Feld. Yeah, it's Feld. Aquasphere. This is his newest, his latest that's out. Yes. Came out in 2014. It plays 2 to 4. Plays in about 100 minutes. I've played it 4, maybe 5 times now. You are scientists.
Yep.
And you're in an underwater aquasphere. See how they did that? And you are trying to battle octopi. And you have robots that help you do your jobs. It's area control and influence. It's got the modular board, and then it's got your action board, which is a separate board, so you can do certain actions. And a lot of times, like through each round, you restructure where each action is on that board. And a lot of times, the ones you want to do are side by side, and you have to have a special card to do that. Dang it! And yeah, you've got submarines down there, and you reprogram your robots to help you do your actions and move around the board, and take control of separate pods in the sphere. I'm trying to think. Time is money, literally, in this game. You have to spend time to move throughout the board, which could be anything. I'm not sure why he picked time, but it is what it is.
It's the currency of the game.
Yeah, it is the currency of the game. I'm just saying it could have been
money, or
it could have been tentacles.
True.
You know, it could have been anything. But that's like everybody's biggest complaint. Like it doesn't matter what you call it. It's just the currency. There's a lot of different paths to victory on this, and the art is really funny. And just the whole theme. I mean, you're fighting octopus.
Yes. So
it's pretty funny. And I really like this one. It's my number 10.
So my number 9 is Dominant Species. It's another game I happened to play last night too. So I got to play 2 of my 2 top 10.
Sad pan.
This is a GMT game, but they're a war game company. This really does feel like a war game. So you're a species trying to dominate, trying to adapt, trying to take over other people's areas. You can migrate. You can competition, which is killing them off, and everybody's a different species. It's awesome. Put that cube back. So everything plays differently. It's an area control game. It's a worker placement with an area control game.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, and a very abstract board.
King of the Hill.
King of the it is so much fun. It's a punishing game.
Yeah.
It has these cards that you get when you score, and those cards are 90% of them are mean. Some of them very mean. So this is definitely a mean game if you like light games, and
it's long too.
It's a long game. Probably the second longest game I play some of the war games.
You play some long games.
But I wouldn't call this one a war game. But if you're a war gamer,
You'll
really like this one. If you're not, maybe not. It's different from a lot of stuff out there. It's hard to compare this to other games because there's not another game like this because it has a ton of theme.
Even though the board is bland as heck.
Bland. So there's a lot of theme in there. Each species plays different. It plays to 6, which is rare.
Does it play well as 6?
It plays great with 6. In fact, it plays. I've never played it without 6, so I've only played it with 6.
Have I only played it
Yeah,
with 6?
you've only played it with 6. I don't think we've ever played it with a different number, so.
Oh, all right.
I'm not even sure how it plays without 6. So, love this one, Dominant Species.
My number 9 is Vikings. Vikings where you're not Vikings. You're fighting Vikings. So there's a little bit of Vikings in it. This has the coolest board. It does. It has this cool rondelle thing where you put your ships and your plots of land and your warriors and different people. Like each color is a different. You've got like the goldsmith and the fisherman and all that. You put them all around this board, and then you can buy from around the board. And when you do, you spin the board to the next available token, and that's like the coolest thing I've ever seen. And this game has been out of print until last year. Last year it came out. So it was originally done in 2007, and it was one of the first few that we played. Instantly, I wanted it. Instantly. Like, I love this game. And it was our Grail game until last year. Couldn't find it for a good price anyway. People try to gouge you. But yeah, so you're basically building up islands, and you have to block out the Viking ships with the black knights that they keep all your people below them standing up, and if they're laying down, you don't get the points or the resources or whatever that job is attached to that person. You get some extra bonuses if you buy the most expensive tiles, and you start out with points. What is it, 10 points?
10 points.
You start out with 10 points in this game, and it makes me giggle every time because Kyle ended up...
It was 7.
No, it was 3.
3, yeah. I lost 7 points.
3 points. Yeah. I don't know how you did that, but...
I'm not horrible at this game, but that was the worst game I'd ever played of any game ever, where I just...
No, Robo Rally is the worst game you've ever played. Yeah, he died before we even started. He died in the practice.
But I love Vikings. It was in my top 20, 30?
Yeah.
30?
Yeah, one of the... Yeah, but it's a really fun game. And that non-rondelle is really cool. Really cool. So that's my number 9.
So my number 8 is Kingsburg. This is... it's weird. So... A lot of people played Kingsburg first, then played Alien Frontiers. We kind of did it backwards, where we played Alien Frontiers first, then played Kingsburg. And I liked Kingsburg better, although I like Alien Frontiers too, because it seems simpler. And that's almost, sometimes that's good, where you kind of strip out everything everybody's been adding to it, go back to the basic, like the Dominions and some of the Pillars of the Earth, some of the games that were the basic mechanics. And this is kind of the basic, rolling a dice, manipulating the dice to get goods, turning them into points. Gorgeous art. One of the best looking games. Again, I don't care that much about games, but this is a nice looking... When you put it on the board, people come by and look at it. Easy to teach. Very easy to teach, unless they break the rules.
I do that.
She does that every once in a while.
I forget. It's not my fault.
One of the games I'm actually decent at, too, so I definitely like that part of it, too. But really love Kingsburg. I haven't played. We've only had it for about 2 years. So
I got it for you for Christmas.
Yeah, so we were behind on the times on this one, but love it. So expansions to me aren't a big deal. The expansions for Kingsburg is you have to have it. It adds events. It adds roles. It adds so much new boards. Kind of fixes some of the technology trees. This is one of the few games where I say if you get Kingsburg, it's called To Forge a Kingdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Love this one. Kingsburg, great game.
My number 8. It's Feld. It is my favorite Feld. My favorite Feld. It is one of the first games. I think it's the second game I ever played in a public setting, and it's got the Mancala, which is awesome. Never played actual Mancala, but this was the first time I had dealt with the Mancala mechanism and mechanic. Words are hard. It's awesome. It's filled. There's so many different paths to victory. There's so much going on that you want to do all of it, and you cannot do all of it. And I hate shipping. God, I hate shipping. It was made in 2011. Oh, sorry. Plays 2 to 4. We've played it 30 plus times now. Plays in about an hour and a half. And it's a good 2-player even. I like that Feld's games scale to 2 players really seamlessly. I mean, they're very easy to play as 2 players. It's got card drafting and area movement. And around your Mancala, you get these Trajan tiles that you can put out, and you have to get your pieces of the same color that are on the Trajan tile into that Mancala dish, and end your turn on that, so that, well, end your move on that, so that you can have the special power from each of
or
those.
Points,
yeah,
whatever it is. Yeah.
There's lots of different categories on those Trajans, and that you can use the military, which give you different tiles that also give you special powers, and then you have to meet the people's demands, which could be war or food or fire. Is fire actually fire?
In this one?
Mm-hmm.
It's games. I think it's games.
Yeah. Oh, no, the helmet is games. That's the circus.
Games, food, and religion.
That's it. Yeah. We never call them that, so I can't remember what they actually are.
Yeah, one of our friends called it cookies from the first
Lad.
time. I think it was Chris. Chris did that.
No, it was Lad.
Was it Lad?
It was
Yeah.
Lad. Lad played this with us first. Or with me first. You may have played it with someone else first.
Right.
And then I came out. Yeah. So, yeah, we love this game. We love this game so much that last year I had Kyle's birthday cake made to look like Trajan. It was epic, and no one wanted to eat it because it actually had the Mancala dishes. It had pieces that moved from dish to dish on the cake. It was awesome. Star Peak treats. You rock. But yeah, this is my favorite Feld game. It's his best in my opinion. Trajan.
So, I may talk about this in a minute.
Might. Ooh, mystery.
My number 6.
Ooh.
No, my number 7.
Oh, almost messed it up.
Turned it too fast. Number 7 is Stone Age.
Seems familiar.
Yes. Love Stone Age. It is one of the best worker placements made. One of the best boards. Plays great too. Very, very shockingly. A lot of these games don't play great too. This one does play really good too. It is a hard game to master. It is a hard game to have a strategy going into it. You kind of just have to let it go, see how other people are playing, see what your strategy gets dictated to early on based on the cards at the bottom. Great, clean worker placement. There's not it is a mathy game because you're doing a lot of division. I'm not a big fan of the dice. I don't think you are either. They're kind of light.
They're really light. It's a weird feeling, but
gorgeous board. I don't care much about art, but this one has great art. Great.
Michael Menzel.
Yeah, a great board on it. Definitely love this one. Recommend it. So many strategies to it. The scoring on it is pretty mathy at the end. So, but not that bad. I would turn this off to beginner players. I think this is a gateway-ish game. Gateway to heavier games. It's so clean that teaching it's so easy, and it gives them. You get to see how worker placements work without all any of the fancy bells and whistles that everybody's putting on worker placements now. This one is such a good, classic, great game.
My number 7 is Glenmore. I love Glenmore. Of course, I'll probably say that on every game on my top 10, but I love Glenmore. It is small, like the board is tiny, and you're going around, and I like this mechanic. I don't remember if it has a specific name. I'm sure it does. But you move, and then if you move up ahead of everybody else, they have to catch up to you before you move. So they could take 2 or 3 turns to catch up to you, and that is a strategy all of itself. But you are your clans. You're trying to get whiskey. Yeah, you're trying to get distilleries and different types of meat and things, and then you can get castles and all kinds of fun stuff. And you're building your civilization area, whatever you want to call it, your clan. You're building that all up, but it's so deep. It's so much deeper than that. Like,
sure.
Because if you have 9 tiles in your area and the other person has like 7, you get docked points for that at the end of the game. So it's a lot more complex than it looks in such a tiny box. The art is great. I don't even know. It's such a great game. I really, really like this game. I'm not sure. I think we've only played it correctly once, though.
Well, we do mess up a lot of the simple. It's not simple.
It's not.
There's a lot of little. It's not a complex game per
Yeah.
se, but there are a lot of rules in it where you have to remember. Because it's got a very Carcassonne feeling, where you're putting out tiles and you're building. Everything has to be connected a certain way, and things trigger based on where you put it. So there's a lot to forget in this game.
It's true. And we don't get it on the table very often, which helps us to forget even more. And we played it 2-player up until the last time we played it, and then we played it 3-player with someone who knew how to play it. So
Yeah,
that helped.
so a game that came out recently reminds me of this a little bit. It's called Patchwork.
Yes.
It has the same mechanic where if you're
Where you're
behind,
moving.
you can move again. So
Yeah.
that's the only other game I've seen do that. I'm sure there's more, but that's the only ones that we've seen.
Yeah, because we're still fairly new to it. But that's my number 7, Glenmore.
So my number 6 is another Stefan Feld game,
Shocking.
Bruges. Love Bruges. Bruges may do the best job of using cards differently. So when you get a card, it can do 6 different things based on what you want it to do. You can get money with it, you can build with it, you can do special ability on it, you can build canals, you can put out different threats that are happening. That could be some fires or stuff like that, and make you lose things. Such an interesting game. It's got 165 cards, and everyone has different art.
That's true.
Which is pretty incredible.
Yes.
So, it's Bruges, you're building canals, and you're building buildings. It doesn't seem like a great theme, and it's probably the theme's probably not great on it. It's the use. This is a great mechanic game where he does such a great job with cards and dice. So
Yes.
he uses dice differently. Depending on what you roll, it's depending how much money you can get or how much you can build for a reputation track. I love this one. It's got in-game scoring. It's got a quick ending to it where it kind of happens unexpected. There's a deck of cards when it runs out that the game's over, but people can kind of push that and run out one deck faster to try to end the game quicker. So you can never quite be sure when the game's going to end. It's a little bit victory point salady where it's pretty easy to get points. Although in this one there are some stuff that can happen to make you lose points.
That's
even.
true.
Not a ton of interactive, but the mechanics in this one it's one of the best mechanics, best use of cards I've seen in the game. Bruges.
My number 6 is my favorite in the GIP series, Yinch. I love this game. It's the first of the GIP series that Kyle and I played, and I win every time, which makes me love it even more.
I'm horrible at this game.
It's so much fun. But he gets me back with Devon, so it's okay. This one, it's very cool. You have like a ring, and then you have little tokens that fit inside the ring, and you have to get 4?
I think it's 4. You get 3 rings off wins the game.
3, yeah. If you get 3 rings, that wins the game, and you have to move your pieces. When you move them over, they flip. It's
Go. It feels like Go.
Go.
The old classic game. I don't know if you've ever played
I
Go,
haven't
but
played that.
it feels like Go. It's a gamer's Go. So kind of how I would describe it to people.
And it's a GIP, so the components are awesome. You start with 5 rings, and when you end your movement, you leave a marker, and then when you jump over the markers, that's what I was trying to say earlier. When you jump over them, they can flip from black to white, and whatever color you are, you want them to flip to that, obviously, or maybe you don't, because if I turn his, he can't win. And 5 of the same color in a row wins the ring. That's how it works. And there's 3 rounds. So that was a complicated way to say this is an awesome game. It's my favorite of the GIF series, and I love it.
And funny thing about these games, so we complain about some of the Euro boxes being ugly. In fact, I don't know if I have any more that are ugly boxes, but this is a boring theme game that they did a great box. So you can do a great box. It doesn't matter what the game is.
It's true.
That's one of the things I like about the GIF series is they made the box seem very interesting compared to what the game is. Because the theme of the game is nothing. There's no zero
theme, yeah.
to it. But so this is for Kalis. You can make a nice box.
Yeah, Kalis, what the heck? Yeah, this is my favorite abstract. My favorite of the GIP series.
So my number 5 we don't have is the Virgin Queen. That's another war game. It is the sequel to Here I Stand, GMT Games. It is a long, complicated, complex, card-driven war game that is absolutely brilliant, that fixes a lot of things I didn't really like about Here I Stand. It made it a cleaner game, a tighter game, and made all the powers interesting. Where in Here I Stand, there was a couple powers that the Pope I hated playing, or even when whenever they were even doing stuff, it felt like a separate game almost. Virgin Queen is an incredible, complicated, complex, deep game. It is a war game, so it's mean. There's backstabbings, negotiations. It actually has the first part of every round. Everybody gets to go off to the side, talk to each other, make deals, talk about each other, and figure out what we're going to do to mess somebody up and gang up on people. It encourages ganging up, making allies. It's an incredible game. Every power plays so differently. Got different win conditions, different powers they can do. Every card is unique and different and adds flavor. It adds history. Incredible game. It's a 6 to 8 hour game, or even longer depending on how stuff goes. Love this one to death. Virgin Queen.
My number 5 is St. Petersburg. This is the reprint that just came out the end of last year.
Yeah, I think so.
Or the
beginning of this year.
Beginning of this year, maybe. The original came out in 2004. So, 2014 is when this came out. Plays 2 to 4 in the original, and with they have some different variations in this new reprint. And it does.
They tightened up some
5.
of the. I think they tightened up some of the cards that people thought were overpowered. They did some realigning of some of those cards.
Yes. But this is a double-sided board, so on one side you can add I think it's the market, I think is what they call it, variation. But it's got a whole book just on the variations that you can play with this new reprint that they don't have in the old one. It's got card drafting, set collection, it's economic, you're building a city, and you're getting all these workers to help you build it, and then you're getting nobles to beef it up, and the nobles is how you win it, I think, more than anything.
They score at the end based on how many different types you have. And,
yeah.
This one, I like it. I'm not as big a fan as Tina is.
I really like it.
It's really dry. I mean,
it is.
The theme on this one is non-existent.
Yeah.
But it's a quick game. It's only an hour. Sometimes we played it once and it only lasted like 20 minutes.
It was ridiculous. I don't know what happened.
We still think we played it right, but
yeah. But when you add in these variations, I think that gives it a little more length too, which may be why they did that. I guess this one it's got an additional phase, which may be the market one. I'm not sure. We haven't played that part yet because we haven't gone over the rules for it. But yeah, this is a really fun game. I'm not good at it.
I'm horrible at it.
And when I play with Tim or Bags or Steve, I'm really bad at it because they've played it forever and are much better at it. But it's still super enjoyable, even though it's dry. I think they don't always have to have theme to make it a good game.
No, I'm not. The theme is not huge to me.
Right.
I really don't care about theme, but this is. For somebody who doesn't care about theme, this one is really maybe one of the driest games I've played, where you never really feel like I'm really in the game. It's just grabbing cards and playing them.
I like it. I like it. Anyway, that's my 5.
So my number 4 is another Stefan Feld game.
Shocker.
Aquasphere, his latest game. One of his best. One of his top 2, I think.
True.
2 to 4 players. Feld usually does go 4 players in most of his games. This is to all the people who say Feld can't do theme. This has great theme.
It does.
It's
fun.
It pops. It comes to life. It makes sense, and it's silly. Which he hasn't done a lot of silly themes. It Happens was pretty silly. But he really hasn't done. Isla's kind of silly, I guess. But he hasn't done a lot of silly games. This one feels lighthearted, but man, is it a deep, complex, thinky, trying to figure out the best way to do stuff game. It has programming on it, but the programming is not like a Robo Rally programming. It's just setting up a future move.
You
that
robot.
you're not committed to really, because
That's
you
true.
can commit a couple different times, so it's not like a blind. Because I think that throws some people off when they say this is a programming game, because you are programming robots to do something, but it's not in a Robo Rally way where you're
Where
like,
you're gonna
oh,
get
this happened, this
screwed.
happened. It's totally different. So
Yeah. You can take those robots back.
yeah,
And change
I'm not a
your
big
mind.
fan of people who call this a programming game. 'Cause it's really not. It's a worker placement kind of
Yeah.
game. Limited action, special power game. 100% a victory point salad game, which he's famous for, and I like those because the great thing about the Feld games that I really like is you can be bad at the game, but you're always kind of scoring points, and you kind of feel you're just not scoring as much as the other person, but you always feel like you're accomplishing something instead of just getting beat down by the game.
Yeah, you don't feel defeated.
You don't feel defeated, so I like that about Feld games.
Except for La Isla.
Yeah, he's got a couple games, but you're still scoring points in that one.
Yeah, it's so.
This one I love. One of his best themes. I'm very excited to see what he puts out next.
Yep. My number 4 is Concordia, giant game. Concordia is so much fun. And Kyle's already had it on his list. Was it last one, right?
Last one,
The
yeah.
last one, yeah. It came out in 2013 and it plays 2 to 5, which is good for our gaming group, obviously. We just got the Britannia and Germania map, and we played Britannia?
No, it was Germany.
Are you sure?
I think it was Germany.
We played one of them, and it wasn't good for 3 players. It was too spread out, so there wasn't a lot of having to fight over who gets there to pay less for the place that you're going to. But it was still fun. We've played 14-ish times, probably more than that, a little bit now. Plays in about 100 minutes. It's really pretty. The artwork is really nice. The components are nice. It's a card-driven game, straight up. The cards give you special abilities. You got to go through them and then collect them all. And even just collecting and recycling them gives you points. You've got all these different resources that you need to build stuff. And there's, I don't know. It's just a great game. I run out of words very easily, don't I?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's economic, it's strategy. There's a little deck building in it with the cards. And a lot of hand management. The components, the art, different paths to victory in this one. I don't know, I really liked it the first time I played it. And it's a little confusing at first, but not tragically so. And I don't know, it's a great game. Concordia.
All right, my number 3 is 5 Tribes, which would be my favorite game from last year, Bruno Cathala. Absolutely fabulous game. Fell in love the first time I played it, even when I saw the reviews. Usually you can tell in a review if you're going to like a game. I saw this review, and I thought, wow, that looks amazing. Days of Wonder did a great job with this game. Beautiful artwork. The components are great. Like we said in our last video, the 2-player part of it, they only made a certain number of pieces for 2 different types of pieces. So there's 2 of the colors you can't play in the 2-player game. You have to play the 2 colors, and I think it's pink and blue.
It's orange
Yeah.
and blue or something.
So 2 colors we're not big fans of anyway. So
Orange and blue.
that's a minor. That's a pretty big complaint, but
But it doesn't break it either.
but 5 Tribes it's a man-color game. You're picking up people from
A spot.
and dropping them off and matching up colors, and you get to do special abilities. Definitely a victory point salad. It scores a little bit like 7 Wonders at the end, kind of, where you have a pad of paper, you're scoring points for a lot of different things. Great games. I've seen every strategy win this game. I've seen people doing the Jin strategy, people just getting tile strategy, people getting palm trees. It's all kinds of different strategies in this one. Great game. Love it. 5 Tribes. Can't play this one enough.
My number 3 is Castles of Mad King Ludwig. This game is so much fun. The first few times we played it, we kind of messed it up a little, and I'm a dork, and I post pictures of the new games that we play on Facebook, and people would be like, you placed that wrong. I'm like, thanks, now I know. But it's really fun. A lot of people do compare it, or they try and compare it to Suburbia, and it plays totally different. A few similarities, but nothing that would make you want to just have one or the other. I love building the castle on this. It's really cool. Everybody's castle looks different. Everybody's got a different strategy on it. And Ted Alspach, man, he's a great game designer. And the fact that he can make two games that could be, like, have the potential to be the same, he made them so different and so well that bravo to Ted. We played it like 6-ish times, came out in 2014, and it plays 1 to 4. There again, I don't understand why people play 1, but that's just me. Plays in about an hour and a half. And it's kind of abstractish because, you know, you're building your castle and it can look any way you want it to look. And I like that you get to decide the cost of the pieces. There's the whole board set out there and you get to arrange them on your turn, but then you have to go last. And you're hoping that people will buy the tiles so that you get money because they're buying them from you. And a lot of times we will gang up on Kyle and not buy anything from him and just take the $3,000 or whatever, $5,000 it is, so that he doesn't have any money to buy his building because we're mean like that. But it makes it funny. Each room has different special abilities on it. You get points every time you lay down a room. There are public goals, but there are also hidden goals, which we really like hidden goals. And I think my biggest complaint on it was the rules weren't very clear in some aspects. The goals specifically. So having played Suburbia, that helped. The goals are a little alike in that. But other than that, it's a great game, and we really like to play this one a lot.
So my number 2 is Through the Ages. This is the best civ building tech tree game that I've played. Played a lot that games that kind of feel like Through the Ages at times, but nothing does it as well as this. The only reason we don't play this more is it is a long game. It's 4 hours on the box, and that's probably a true statement. And it's not a very good 4-player game. Don't recommend this one 4. It's just too long. It just has too much. 3, I think 3 is where the sweet spot is. It's a mean game, you know. It's got wars and there's definitely things. But it's one of those games that if you're sacrificing something, you're doing better on something else. So it's a strategy saying, all right, I'm going to lose wars, but I'm going to have a great, you know, intellectual society that's going to do all this kind of stuff. So everybody feels totally different. You're drafting real people in history and having them come to work for your city, and then they die off and you get somebody else. So that is so cool, the history of it, and seeing how we have just changed as a world and how we have advanced technology-wise. So love this game. It's very fiddly, a lot of little pieces.
So many pieces.
So many pieces. But man, deep game, complex game, makes you think.
I like that there's different variants that you can play.
Yeah, there's different variants. So we've played. I think I've played every kind of the standard game, the full game, beginner game. I played all of them. Really love this one, but man, the only reason this game wouldn't be number 1 is it's just too long. It's too hard to get on the table.
It is.
And it's so hard to teach. I don't know. I have taught it, but man, it's tough to teach this game.
There's a lot going on in it.
Through the Ages.
Oh, you have my number 2.
What is your
biggest?
Oh. There we go.
My number 2 is Lords of Vegas. Yay! I should hate this game so much. Oh my gosh. I should hate it. You are building casinos, like Kyle said earlier. You are negotiating. You are rolling dice. It is straight Ameritrash, and I don't like Ameritrash. But I love this game. I love not negotiating with Steve in this game. It's so stupid. Oh my god. Oh, he's so bad at that. So
he
bad
gave me
at
the
deals.
game. He made a deal with me last night that helped me win the game. So
why won't you do that for me? Oh my god, Steve. Seriously. Anyway, Lords of Vegas has 2 expansions. The Up expansion where you can build your casino's skyscraper, and then a sky bridge, which Kyle got me for my birthday along with this, and we haven't played that one yet, but I would definitely want to. It plays 2 to 4. With the Up expansion it plays 6. Came out in 2010. We've played it like 11-ish times, and it plays in about an hour. Is that right? Or is it longer than that?
It's much longer than that, yeah.
It says an hour.
Does it say an hour? It says 60 to 90 minutes.
Oh, all right.
But that's for 2 to 4 players.
Yes, that's true. With Up, it
we normally play this one 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So it definitely takes longer with that. You've got your area control and influence, your rolling dice, and it is luck. It's all luck. You're rolling dice, you're hoping that the dice you want comes up so that you can take over control of that casino or whatever that you're trying to do. You've got cards coming out that give you money, and they'll give you different spaces on the board so that you can build, and then you're trying to negotiate to get that spot from someone else. The components are really nice. The art is great. It's really fun. And there's not really, I don't know, it's all negotiation. And it's a lot of fun. It's a great game.
It is so much fun, much better than it should be.
That's right. Lords of Vegas.
So, our number one games.
Dun,
So,
dun, dun, dun.
my number one is the game that made me fall in love with this hobby. If I hadn't played this game, I don't know how much we would be into this hobby. We liked a lot of the games we were playing, but, you know, hadn't had that wow factor yet. We played a lot of games we ended up not even liking.
A lot of Ameritrash at first.
We played Twilight Imperium, which is a really good game, but man,
Dungeon
it's horrible.
Quest.
Dungeon Quest. So we played a lot of games that Munchkin and Flux.
Stuff that had cool art.
Yeah.
Because I was drawn to the art, and then we quickly realized that good art a lot of times equals Ameritrash,
Yeah.
which we don't like.
So the first game that I played that I went, wow, board games are awesome, is Trajan. So everybody that knows me knows this is my number one. Nobody's surprised.
Yes.
I absolutely love this game to death. It is by far my favorite. The Mancala in this game is incredible. Five Tribes comes the closest duplicate, but they're totally different.
Yes.
And Stefan Feld is my favorite designer. Even the games I don't like of his, I like better than other games.
True story.
So when you're comparing all the Feld games, you know, you're comparing good games against great games instead of good games against bad games. Because even his worst game is still a good game. So, love Trajan. I don't know what else to say about it. It is.
Yeah.
It is. Without this game, I wouldn't be in this hobby. I am a Stefan Feld fan. 100%. I will play any.
Your meeple.
Yeah, if he puts out a game, I'm going to play it.
It's true.
I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
I'll buy his stuff unseen.
It's true.
But this is a game, it's a victory point style game. Everything you do generates points, which is, I love that. It is a very complex game, head scratcher, puzzle type game. We were trying to figure out how to get these right cubes in these right bowls to do the thing that I want and get a special ability, and then, you know, there's 6 sub games going on almost.
Yeah.
So, literally, I love Trajan. It is favorite game. I forgot what the plays are. It's over 40, right? I think we're over 40 plays on this one. So
30 plays.
30 plays. Yeah. So we've played this one so many times. Love it, Trajan.
Plus, you played a lot on the computer too.
I have.
So
I played it probably another
played
50 or 60 times on the computer.
Exactly. All right. My number one is Bean Boozled. No, I'm just kidding. My number one is Suburbia. Yay! I love this game. I should hate it so much because it's everything I hate in a game. It's economic. It's mathy. You are building a Suburbia. It came out in 2012. It plays 1 to 4 players. We played it like 15 times. I feel like we should play it more than that. I don't get it on the table. I don't understand why. Plays in about an hour and a half. It's tile placement, city building. I like that your city and everybody else's city affects each other. You build an airport, and then I build an airport, and each of us gets something for that. But there are also negative effects from things, too. I hate those red lines, though, Ted. I hate them. Just saying. They're mean. The red lines on the score tracker, if you pass them, you have to go back on your money tracker or on your influence tracker.
Both. Yeah.
Yes. But there are tiles that negate those, so thank you for that, Ted. But yes, you've got goals that are public, you've got goals that are hidden. We like both of those. And then Suburbia Inc. is the expansion, and it adds borders, which are super cool. Mm-hmm. I really like how they affect the game, and they're huge. So you can add a whole bunch of stuff to them and get a whole bunch of more money or influence or whatever you need. It's a really cool expansion. This game is awesome. I love it. I don't think I'm good at it either, but I really love Suburbia.
Great game.
It's really fun. So that's my number one.
Thanks for watching our top 100 board games of all time.
Yay!
trying to talk to you in high school.